So we have two major changes about this league. One, of course, IndyCar it's in full swing now, so that means we're gonna be having maybe less D2 races than we used to have. Not necessarily like in a season where it's gonna be like switch out 1 week for IndyCar and 1 week for D2, or we might just do a whole 2 weeks for IndyCar in the next coming weeks because it's been dead for the past like year. No, it's Freezy Boy Alton Jr. Freezy Jr. in here, and plus they're not. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna have that. It's also okay because we have us here. I'm streaming it, so we'll post it and ping the drivers with the video after. But we're gonna also be having extremely more strict racing, so that's why to explain to some of y'all why y'all got demoted to D2 or not in Cup or IndyCar, because we're gonna be much more strict because of the upper half of the cars. It's gonna be extremely harder to drive them because one, the setups are gonna change a little bit for some tracks, and two, there's aero and engine damage. So because of that, only an X number amount of drivers will be in a roster maybe, or will be allowed to be in two Cup Series in themselves. Because last season, we're not going to say names, but there were some people who were extremely atrocious. No, you weren't even really racing last season. Yeah, Feared. Yeah, you raced like 4 races, Braxton. But okay, huh? I don't think so. No, Vander. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so then. But yeah, he whooped y'all. But yeah, the driver that. Okay, so hold on. I want everybody up on stage and in audience. If you want to hear the names of people I'm about to completely ruin their reputations about their driving, raise your hand. If you want to hear names that bad, raise your hand. All right. The vote won. Also, Freezy Boy, you said I have a big points lead. Yeah, it's a 1 race points lead. If someone wins a race, they're going to come back and get you. You don't need to be cocky about it. Yeah, he just joined, and he's in the FIA Academy. That's what we're going to be talking about like a second. But the drivers that were like the reason why we also implemented this were like Vander, because he was like he's D1 material ish, but he's a little right bordering. He's not buns, but he's right on the border. Braxton, calm down, bro. He's not that bad. He's not that bad. Okay, he's like. Well, look, that was last season. Braxton. Oh, so basically the reason why it's that is because all the other races in the round of eight, one are races that of course deserve to be there. Oh yeah. It's not that bad. Well, yes. Yes. Yeah, this is the memory version. We run the Gen 4 car, so you run it off like the Gen 4 season. They ran the All Star at Texas like 2008. Yeah, I think so. It either Sonoma or Coda that raced twice, so I just did one road course twice. It's not that bad, Braxton. Alright, so next. We're going to talk about, yes, it's going to be the IndyCar series, especially with driver applications in the GT series. The reason why there are two series, the reason why there are two things about the FIA and license for Academy and IndyCar and GT is because one, if you're in the Academy, you can race GT part-time, but you cannot race IndyCar, period. In order to race no, no. I said if you're in the Academy of FIA Academy, we're allowing you to race part-time in GT, but you cannot race IndyCar, period, until you get an official IndyCar license. Because yeah. If you're in IndyCar, you automatically have access to all the series, except for D1 Cup. Yes, all 10 of y'all are in the IndyCar series, yes. Oh, your part-time, what happened is, so basically you got updated from part-time, last night didn't update you yet, but you have been part-time through last week because in your practice we didn't know why your driving was buns at Barber, because that was the most important. No, it wasn't just that. What we found out was the setup was like kind of laggy. We had input lag on the cars, so we took stuff out the game. Kind of, sort of, yeah. It kind of sold the game. Well, I mean, you're gonna be full time now since we knew what it was, and plus, I could tell why it was. And it's like the game, the Indy cars that we had in the game at the time were kind of buggy, so we got newer versions of them, so it's okay. But the thing with IndyCar though and GT, you can race them, but this is the reason why you can't race IndyCar and GT at the same time is because one has damage and one's much harder than the other, and it's very very difficult to race our Indy cars because we made them realistic. Like in Indianapolis last night, we had an Academy driver race at Indianapolis. He was having a hard time because the Indy cars at Indianapolis, once again, I'm saying, extremely difficult to drive. So yeah, I'll hurry. What the heck? What the heck is going on in this stage we see? Lord have mercy. Freezy, but what do you have to say? You said also wants the next track race in IndyCar, something like that. Because yeah, Indy. Yeah, you can go. Sorry, you can see the stream later. But Freezy. Oh hey, Frost, you're here. But for your information, Freezy, IndyCar trials are gonna likely either be tonight or tomorrow around time, same time today, because tomorrow we're gonna try and do the Cup race if possible. So, and just so y'all know, it's gonna be at an easier track, quote unquote easier track, the east of the hard track, Indianapolis. So you're gonna be having to beat times there, and we're gonna have at least try and have a 3 to 4 car group of cars there. So we might have some of the drivers that are in IndyCar with y'all, so we get input from everybody. Kick should be there if he's available, so he can help rate the drivers as well. And so you know how the format goes for that. You know, for guys like who are trying to make IndyCar series, you have to yeah. Braxton's back. Braxton, what are you doing, chat? Yes. Okay. But that's what I was saying. You have to you're gonna get 15 to 20 laps of racing, and after that we're gonna record it. So we're gonna have at least 5 laps of like each driver, see how they race, what the drivers thought of them. We'll have our main drivers recording it if possible, and me and Kicks, and then we'll post it, and we'll get us and the other drivers and other officials to see what the overall vote is, and then depending on that, that's how you're gonna get scored. And when you get a score over 50, then you get into it. But the system for that's going to be extremely difficult to get 250, so we're going to put that up later on tonight. So that's that for IndyCar in itself. IndyCar's done. Now let's find out part of GT. GT is going to be a short season. Okay, it's going to be a short season of racing, but it's going to be harder to race than like NASCAR Cup cars. We're going to have rain races. We're going to have at least 3 for 4 rain races. And qualifying is going to be 15 minutes of qualifying. So overall, it's going to be a longer race. Hmm? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It affects the car. So the car is going to be like significantly less grip. Yeah, exactly. Have significantly more grip. You're going to lose more tire wear, and overall, the fuel might even be worsened. So it's going to be worse than that. But the only reason why we haven't started GT yet is because we still have to fix the fuel scripts on there. So it's going to be like postponed to like maybe a month or so until we fix that. So that's going to be an issue for, races here and there. But now that we've got GT from IndyCar out the way, we can move on to the next part of this, which is the one that's going to be much more hectic than IndyCar and GT. Is the NASCAR series, starting with D3, Truck Series. Short and simple. We're either going to quit and remove that, or we're just going to postpone that to winter because no one here in this server is bad enough to be in D3, which genuinely surprises me. No one here, except for maybe one person, Kyle Sr., was bad enough to be inside D3. That's literally it. I couldn't think of a single other person. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, Frost is, yeah, he's in D1. Yeah, only one in here that's in D1, D1 are me, you, and Frost. Everyone else in here is D2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point that he just made there because we do have a sort of drivers that are in the series because not in the series but 10 races because we have like what, let me see how much in the roster. We have like a 20 driver roster. Like the roster, yeah, we have literally 20 drivers in the full D1 roster. That's team roster. That's on the roster itself. You see the full thing in the point standings layout. But yeah, we have literally like the top only like the only drivers that show up to the races literally are the top 5 drivers. Like J Star, Ken, Braxton, Kicks, and Kevin. Those are the main guys that show. We usually have 5 car races. Chase almost never is here. Real literally never here. Yeah, now NASCAR's like once or twice. Exactly. Like yeah, like yeah. Q's fast. Yeah, NASCAR is. Yeah, because it's like too. We have Nook, Vander, like Michael, Sketch, Queso, Spacey, Printed, and Blue Macaroni. Then you have Braden Frost, Ian. Yeah, he raced Bristol. Remember, he got penalties in it. He got point deductions. We had a lot of penalties at Bristol, so points got deducted in them. But I don't think so. No. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, because it's like and the thing is too, we are so strict on the drivers because we have the drivers that we strictly watch and let into the league. That because it's super hard for me to let a driver get in because like even one mess up or two mess ups in tryouts can like kick me off at the tryout. So I'm like, okay, look, these guys are good enough. They made it to D1. They made it through tryouts to D1 through D2. So if you're gonna make it here and you want to be in D1, you need to be showing up to races because there's no reason why we should be having guys that are this good, this fast, but they just don't show up. Like we have guy Red Car Aiden, he hasn't been here literally since like season 3, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I don't understand why. That's the thing, because a lot of drivers here, huh? Red Car Aiden, he's been in the league for like a couple seasons, but hasn't been showing up at all, really. If we, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And exactly. That's true. Because like in Iris, even thinking of the guys in Iris is much more lenient with the drivers they put in D1. That's nothing. They're a big league with over 200, pushing 300 members. They have, yeah, they have that many members, and their drivers in D1. Sometimes some of the cheap drivers, like Jan, he's good on only like one or two tracks in the season. Maybe one intermediate, two super speedways. Sometimes the super speedways he's trash. I remember I raced in D2 Iris. Yeah, I raced D2 Iris, and at Iowa, he couldn't hold a line for nothing. He was sending every driver, wrecking people, didn't get a penalty. Top of that, they don't even get penalties out like that. They're very biased how they do their officiating too. It's like, yeah, um, what? Yeah. So like, that's the thing. It's like when you're racing in Iris, their drivers are like bad in D1, but they're still in D1. That they want to race it because it's either a bigger league or because they're just in D1. They're attending races. Exactly. Mm-hmm. But I still make races all the time because I'm a dedicated racer. I mean, I still miss it when I have to, but I don't just miss races for no reason. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, we're gonna probably have to make a phone. Yeah, you just. Yeah, exactly. Like, we're gonna probably have to make a thing where you have to like have a forum. We're gonna have to. I didn't want to have to take it this far, but the problem is when you have a driver shortage, when you have 20 drivers in your roster, and 15 out of 20 out of those 20 drivers are like super good, elite, like possibly elite drivers, but they just don't show up to a race. There's at that point, there's just you have to make a form and say, look, when you get in D1, IndyCar, you have to make sure you're showing up because a lot of times I see it. These guys are playing games like Grow a Garden, random games. Sure, you might want to be grinding the game, cool. But if you have a league race and you're racing in a league and you already have to go through that much to get there, you're like, okay, you made it to D1, you made it to IndyCar, you made it to GT, got an FIA and Cup license, but you're not showing up to races. What's the point of being here? Like if you're like that's in any league period. Even if you're an ANRS, Iris, exactly. 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 Especially when you're a good driver. Like when in my league, we used to have like trash drivers in D1, but I said, you know what, forget this. We're kicking those guys down to D2, D3. And we left with a 5 driver roster of drivers. Next season, we find a bunch of good guys, got 20 guys in the roster. Problem is, all those drivers can't make it. All right, got you. But same thing, like, boom, yeah, see ya. But like guys like Junior and Freezy Boy, these guys they make their races. Y'all, I gotta give y'all props for that. Cause Freezy, you make the races, you make your practice sessions. Junior, you're usually at D2 races, and when you're filling it for D1, you do pretty good as well. So it's crazy because a lot of you guys like see Freezy, he's in summer. Yeah, he's showing up for all the races. A lot of us guys are in summer free. We do races when most people are out. Most people are free either in the evening or the top of the day. But they don't show up. That's something that concerns me a lot because like if you're in D1 and you have this kind of skill you need for it and this kind of skill for IndyCar, you should be making races. So we're gonna probably set up a forum like by like tomorrow night or tonight by tomorrow midnight or something like that and have it to that. Yeah, C Junior, you too. Yeah. He said he should have beat here. What's he gonna say? C. Yeah. See, yeah. Even other leagues. Yeah. You can still have other leagues. Like I don't have a problem showing other leagues. Like we're not the only league out there. But if you're gonna at least try and balance it out. Like I've missed my league. I've missed ANRS, IRS before. You know what leagues just like yeah. Yeah, that's understandable, Junior. Like to decide well, that definitely can be hard because it's like you have leagues that are bad, then you have ones that are mediocre, then you have like 3 of them that you know are super good, and you're like, well, I like these, but I love these, but I like those too. So a that can be something hard to understand that. But I'm gonna do that because when we first started, we had drivers say we check them off. Like, are you gonna be at races? Yeah, most of them checked it off, but they're not showing up. So we're gonna probably have to have a written digital form for it so we can pull it. So ultimate show because yeah, and I mean that also is kind of questionable because we like pinged Charlotte like night before last question mark. So like I don't understand how you did that. Yeah, exactly. And that was sad too because Junior was actually fast at Charlotte. He was actually good. He just ended up having to go. Like those are things that are like understandable, but oh, see, I mean, you can say what he was slow. He was not slow. Well, Freezy, you won the race. Let's be honest, because 17 lag hit the under apron, went up the track. Yeah, Freezy won. Well, Junior, you didn't know he existed. Yeah. Someone. Yeah, keep it incognito, bro. No. That's not Eli. Eli was checks. He's like CHCKZZZ. That's Eli. This is Freezy Boy, who literally on here. You finished last. It was like P5, P6 finish, something like that. But I mean, it's not terribly bad. It was only race 2 in the season, but still, it was. Yeah, next race. Let me see for y'all. The next race in the D2 season is where's the schedule here. Race 3 is going to be at Texas, and after that's going to be Talladega. So those are going to be interesting races for you guys. Yeah, I said. Ooh. Yeah, that's going to be a good one because, oh, Bull, what's up? You made it too. Great job. Yeah. So, well, yeah, it's kind of like Charlotte, but Texas nah, it is, but you know, yeah, same. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the pit strategy. The pit strategy is gonna be different, so it's gonna be harder to do. But back to the updates with the series though. D2. We're going to be having, of course, instead of running only the Gen 4 car, we're going to also run COT like we saw last night. We're going to be running 2012, 2011 COT and the Gen 4 cars, but only the ARCA Twisted Sisters. Oh yeah, yeah. Listen, Junior. I wouldn't be surprised if Junior won Talladega because I've seen him at super speedways. He's a problem. He's a killing machine at super speedways. See, he's the kind of driver that in D2 I would let race in D1 at like part time or like Talladega. He's that driver I would let do that because he's actually really good at it. Or rather, like Ash or Josh, they're good too. Like they actually have the potential to be in D1 at some point. Okay, yeah, yo, Freezy. That's diabolical. Cause you got, cause like, cause that's another thing I was gonna say about the Gen 4. The Gen 4 car, it's not like other Leafs where they just have a mesh that just goes through and hits a barrier like a wall in the car. The actual mesh has contact itself. So like in real life, if you get under somebody's rear, you're gonna spin them. So if you want to do that, sure, go ahead and do it, but it's gonna be dangerous because it's all too easy. We saw at Charlotte Pratt and like testing, like in the Cup Series, we're gonna run that car. It's all too easy to spin somebody out. You're gonna get up on the rear, and once you get stuck on that rear end, you're around, and it's GG's. It's over. You're gonna be spinning and flying to a catch fence. Oh yeah. The bumper locks in like in the D2 cars. Yes, at Charlotte. Yes, that was the issue. We couldn't find a way to get the COT not to do this. Yeah, I remember what you told me. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did that last season, I think. Either this season or last season you did it, and you actually were good. I don't even think you got a penalty. Yeah, you didn't get a penalty that race. Personally, you didn't get a penalty, but a D1 driver got a penalty. That's one of the D1s. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's interesting. So you, what, P4, P5? Something like that. You made the top 5, I know that you did, I think. Because we had it on video. You're, like, pretty fast at Daytona. And, like, you know how to work with a driver. That's what these guys learn about. Like, Wool. We saw him, the last night, I think it was, in his IndyCar practice and testing. He was actually pretty good. When he learned the track, he was able to hold a line and learn the track. That's what this whole series thing's about. Y'all learn the tracks easily, and once you learn the setup from the tracks, you get to move up to D1. Oh no, I didn't listen. I didn't think that my team, Kevin, Jay Starner. I thought if anyone was going to win, it was going to be some Mickey win from like some D3 driver, but it wasn't. Because then again, y'all know how to race a super speedway. Like X number of guys in D2 can race, and that's why we have the academy for people like them. But then again, Bull, Freezy, Junior, y'all are all, absolutely phenomenal attendees and drivers. I have to say so. I thank y'all for being here and being able to race and show what this league can do because it's up and coming. We're still small. We've only been around for like 3-4 years now, maybe I think. But we still already have like drivers from bigger leagues joining it because we advertise it that we can get you guys to help. So yeah, we've been around since 4 years since 2020. So it's been a long road for this league. And man, I tell you, if you went back on the channel and saw some of the oldest videos, you would never believe kind of the stuff we done seen, bro. You would not believe the kind of bullcrap that this league has seen. Listen, Junior. Running a league for 4 years, and listen, we ran 3 divisions. Well, we did, yeah, and then we ran 4 at one point. So yeah. Look, bro, it was hard. It was hard. Going to the. Well, see, it's not that easy to flip a card. See, we have realistic blowovers, so you shouldn't go into the fence. If you go into the fence, that's automatic DNF, of course. And I don't think it's that bad. I mean, you shouldn't be going to the fence in Texas. I mean, if you do that, I mean, you're just trash. Like, no, well, the only reason I'll say that you will go into the fence in Texas is the IndyCar. That's when they're going to do it. IndyCar Texas when you're going to the fence. Something that Bull and Junior are going to want you to worry about, and Free, because y'all are all juniors in IndyCar, Bull and Freezer in Academy, so y'all gotta worry about that bad. That's not even a late race in the season either. Yo, Freezy, are y'all seeing this, chat? We're gonna have to clip this, bro. We're clipping this. What Lightning McQueen? What Lightning McQueen drugs did he take, guys? What did he take? What drug did he take, dude? I don't know what he's on, but definitely though, D2 is gonna be difficult to run now because we have. It's actually funny. What is high one shot? Okay. Race deducted from Freezy Boy driving on enhanced drugs and performance enhancing drugs. He's penalized for the season. Thank you very much. I'm kidding. But yeah, Texas is gonna be hard for pit strategy, I think. Yo, Junior, shut up, bro. But in D1, okay, D2 is covered, okay, thankfully, with all these hooligans. No. I couldn't control myself. I did it on live stream, bro. But back to the racing. Final one for the same D1. For those of you that have Academy, FA Academy training and D2 IndyCar and stuff like that. So the reason why you can't race, Cup is for one specific reason. Something that I had personal experience with. A lot of times, most drivers, people who race IndyCars and they get into the IndyCar series, are not the most elite IndyCar. Not the most elite Cup drivers like NASCAR. But they're able to race D2. Like they have semi skill in NASCAR, but they're good. Like I remember one guy I met. What's him? I think he was Reactor. Shark Boy. Yeah, Shark Boy. He was super good in IndyCar. He dominated the season halfway with Printed. Yeah, it's been 20 minutes. Listen, sir. I thought it was gonna be 6 minutes, but I was saying, you know what? Forget it. We going more info, bro. Okay, we going to the nitty gritty of this. Okay. Y'all need more. I got a whole notebook next to myself right now, bro. I'm going all of it. But the reason why we can't race is because he was really good, and he actually made it to the IndyCar Hall of Fame for this league. But the problem was he couldn't race in NASCAR very well, and that's something we have an issue. I've seen F1 drivers. Our F1 when we ran F1 series a couple months ago, they had guys that were super good in the Formula cars, but couldn't race in NASCAR. Raced good in A chassis, but couldn't race tank chassis. So you have to gauge it because Bull, he's probably gonna be good in the Cup Series. He might be. He looks pretty clean. Junior, he's phenomenal in IndyCar. Just wasn't able to do Cup. And Freezy Boy, he was questionable at Charlotte, but was able to hold it. So that's the thing. All these guys, they're y'all all right there on this pedestal, right before you cross over into IndyCar, right before you cross over to both series. But it's just hard to do it because you have to be strict with it. Me and Kicks, and I can't do it on my own. I have Kicks, Kevin, J-Star helping me do it too. So it's something that has to be a full vote because last time I did it on my own, of course, the league literally almost died. We have 46 members now. There was a point when I literally almost shut the league down. When the league, after I decided not to, it died for 5 months. Dead serious, no cap. It straight died for 5 months. Everything almost shut down. We stopped doing IndyCar, all that stuff. So it was very difficult to hold it and keep it up. But thankfully we came back and now we have you guys. And D1's running with something that's going to kill y'all probably. It's aero damage. We say go ahead and do iRacing style. And damage, which is something that your IndyCar drivers are going to be able to do pretty well. But chances are, it's going to be hard to do because, then again, you're going to have tire blowouts eventually with that and fuel consumption and stuff. He said I should do it for IndyCar. He said I feel I should do IndyCar. Yeah, Freezy. If you do get IndyCar, I think I'm IndyCar. If you make it to IndyCar, you're gonna be guaranteed to be pretty good because we're super strict. That's why we only have 10 drivers in the roster. Like if you're gonna make IndyCar, you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna be scared to touch somebody's car. Like in short, the basics of IndyCar is what this means. If you can race a car, hold one specific line for several laps, be fast, and not touch somebody's car at all for at least 20 laps to 15, then basically you already got the license. That's the basic premises of what IndyCar in this league means. If you cannot touch somebody's car for that long, you're basically going to make IndyCar. That's basically the basis because, you know, there's not a reason why you can't do that. And, you know, it's not bad. I mean, I think, you know, guys like Kevin, Kicks, those guys are good. But the guys that I think are going to be super good, like Junior, Vool, Frieza, because y'all actually have been doing IndyCar for longer than a lot of these guys. And only reason why these guys are kind of better, I think, in my opinion, might be because they've raced bigger leagues like Iris, MWRT, Bubble Series. They have more experience in it. But at the same time, you guys, y'all have that just the fresh passion for it. And what I think with road racing is it functions like a real race kind of similarly because if you don't like doing it, you're not going to race it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like doing something, you're not going to be good at it usually. But at the same time, if you do like it, and you're like Junior, or you're like Bull, or you're Freezy Ball, you come to the events, you want the info, you want the skill, you want the... Something just blew up outside my house. Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure strike a lightning shit outside my window. Awesome. I like dead serious, like 5 minutes from the house. But anyways, y'all are gonna be the best drivers because you know you're here. But to end this thing off, we're gonna go over this. What the heck just happened? Did somebody put something in the chat? You can put it back in if you want to. You didn't? Okay. But in short, basically, before we go ahead and ask any questions you have, let's go. Okay, we are. Freezy, I'm going to burn you and everything you love. Oh my God. I'm closing this chat, bro. I'm closing it. Well, what did he say? He said, no, bro. No, you can't bull. Okay, you know you have to be like clean. Okay? You can't be overly aggressive and all that. Okay, listen, dude. Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, you can't. But in the Cup Series thing off, basically in short, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a quick little. Okay, that is a peak strategy when you want it to be, like more like in the Cup Series. But in short, if you want to make it to D1, I'm gonna give y'all just a short, basic recipe. Right? It's simple as this: one, learn to race somebody cleanly side by side without wrecking them. Two, be able to hold stay off of a wall because aero damage and all that. And three, be able to work with somebody because the thing with Cup is these guys, they work with their teammates, but they don't always work with them if you're not the best of that track. So if you can make a relationship with somebody on track and say, look, I'm not your teammate, but we like each other off and on tracks, then you can go ahead and race with me. That's what happens. Like last season, like Vander and Kevin, they weren't teammates. Ken and Kevin, they're not teammates. They're not even teammates. They're not on the same team. But the thing is, they both race clean. They both never wreck each other, and because of that, through that, they race together and they make team. Like, let's say, for instance, Bull and Junior. They might, be racing together. They might say, okay, look, we want to beat Freezy, so let's team up together. You may not be on the same team. In fact, Junior might be Freezy's teammate in the near future, but Bull doesn't have a teammate. But if Freezy, let's say, is not good at Daytona, he say, look, my teammate's not great. He's not trying to help me neither. So he'll just use Bull, help him get to the front. That's what happens a lot of times. So you have to have the skill to either make your teammate always stick with you or learn to make a plan with another driver on and off track, because that's what makes these guys good. It's not always the clean racing, it's the skill and how you can form a relationship with the driver on the racetrack yourself. So you have to learn to do that, especially with only like a 5-6 car race. That's going to be crucial because not a lot of times one guy's working by himself. Remember, one time I was racing in my league, had no teammates in the race. I won the race, but I was working on my own. I didn't even really try to help anybody because no one wanted to help me. So I said, look, no one's here. No one's going to help me. So I'm going to have to go solo. I'm going to push you I can when I can. Because there's certain situations people know you're good in, so they help you. So you might get a push here and there. But it's it's wild card, in Cup Series a lot of times. You just have to, learn your way around the racetrack, learn your way with the cars. And sooner or later, we're going to probably have a forum for, what to do with the cars and whatever. So, you can understand the cars. Me and Kicks will probably work on that in the near future once we get bump drafting the Cup cars, though. But after this, now, if you have any questions, because we're going to have to end this quickly soon, like the next 5 to 6 minutes, actually. So if you have a question, go ahead and ask. It's like, you got a question. And also, if you can join up on stage, if you can join VC. Yo, J-Star, what? Okay, I'm about to say, like, you're going to join this late. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask it. Also, Fool Freeze, if y'all want to come up on stage and, like, ask your question, you can, Aaron Jr. Can someone answer that question for him? Because I don't know. I don't know. What the heck? Alright, cool. Anyone from Junior or Wolf, if you got a question, you can. Because, yeah, if you have a question, you get started out quick, we're going to have to, like, log off in a second to just end because we got, like, a really bad storm right outside, like, my house, so it could probably kill the internet in a second. It says, no question, you good? You good, Junior? What about you? Ian's here. Awesome. Ian, you kind of missed it, but we have the stream on, so you can get it from the stream or anything. So I'm going to post the stream in a second. If you have a question, Junior, you can DM it to me because I have to end it now because the stream's like right outside my house, and we're gonna have to do it because it's like a bad, like thunderstorm, like super bad. So I'm gonna end this. If we have another driver meeting like this in the near future, I'll let y'all know. But this is basically it for now. If any updates do come up, it's gonna probably be after like Talladega, or like Charlotte, because those are the main races that have big updates around them. So I'll see y'all after this. If you want to rewatch the stream, huh? Oh yeah, you lost your roles. Yeah, right. Let me go ahead and do that for you real quick. Yeah. Hold on. I'll have that on you in a second, but yeah. So if you have any questions that you didn't answer now that you don't have right now, you have some later, you can DM them to me anytime, and I'll answer them for you. And I'll have like a Q&A or like driver, like car question, whatever section put up soon, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'll see you guys in the next on the next race. For DDT drivers, that'll be at Texas, and for us Cup drivers, that'll be tomorrow at 6 Eastern for Charlotte Motor Speedway. So I'll like to see you guys there, and have a good one. And yeah, that'll be it. Let me go ahead and end the stage. So love you guys. Stay safe, and thanks for showing up. And we'll see you tomorrow for Charlotte.